Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Factorio. So today we're going to be working mostly on our production line, something we've neglected for a while. We've only done a few little additions to it recently, but today I'm going to start actually doing a lot of work with it and adding in some new systems and so on. So you can see I'm looking around and looking at the liquid pipes because I sort of forgot that we need to continue to extend both of the liquids further along the line. So both of them have kind of come to a halt and I've had to sort of shoehorn in the continuation, so I've had to move some electric poles around to get them through, but eventually I work out how to transport the sulfuric acid and the lubricant through the rest of the system, though they're in weird places now, but it works. Like the sulfuric acid has swapped places with lubricants, and lubricants gone up randomly for like further up in the system, and that means we can start working on the next systems that will use both of these fluids. So what I'm doing now is connecting up iron, and I'm trying to connect up gears, but it turns out there's a bit of stuff in the way. So I devised a system to sort of make more use of space, and it turns out to make absolutely, it's just not efficient at all. It uses more space than it otherwise would have done, but it gets the gears over, so whatever, I just connect it up, and so we now have some iron plates and gears. So we can work on the system that we're going to make, and that is belts. We're going to have all three levels of belts being produced, hopping along, so that we can finally get some blue belts used in some of the systems that really do need to go faster than they currently are, like a lot of the smelting things and things like that. So you can see I've got the three assemblers set up, and then I just have to connect along the conveyor belt and put the inserters in, and then connect up the lubricant pipe to the blue belts, because that is of course the requirement for lubricant, and that means that all of the uses have now been done, because I think it's only blue belts and electric engines that use it, so now we can stop that line of belts and leave that as it is, but we'll need to get sulfuric acid moving along a bit further because it's not quite finished with yet. But anyway, you can see that the blue belts are now being produced, or you would be if I wasn't looking in my inventory. What I'm doing there is checking what I haven't got being automated yet, to see if there's anything more important that needs to be made. There's a few military things, but I'm not going to set those up quite yet, they're not urgent. So anyway, you can see it's all going along, everything's moving through, and the chest is slowly filling up, so I have a look at it, and it's nearly got a full stack already, so I just take out what there is, so I can go and apply that to the base. And as I'm walking off, I realised that I never switched electric engines on. I didn't put the final inserter to set that off, so I just plonked that down. Now electric engines are being produced, and once we need them, they're there for the taking. So I make my way back over to smelting because there is a big problem. Copper is shut down because of course we've run out of coal, so I quickly chuck in a bit that I had in my inventory, and then I make my way over to the coal mining area just to the east. So I just empty out the entire chest. I actually misclicked and got the accidentally hotkeyed the entire thing into my inventory, but it makes no difference really. So I plonk some into the iron and also into the steel, and then what I've got left I put into the copper, and I always neglect the copper a bit. I've only put 2 stacks in there, which is a bit mean, and it's not going to last it very long. But I consider iron more important, even though at the moment we have a surplus of iron and a shortage of copper. I should probably put more into copper, honestly. But anyway, I make my way down to the new smelting area, see how things are going there. There is a bit of build-up there, which we should fix, really. And also looking at the iron, I can finally fix a problem that we've had, and by putting blue belts and everything, we now have all the smelters running at full speed all the time. Because we had enough supply for all of the smelters, but it wasn't getting to them because the belts were too slow. Anyway, I've gone back up to the production line to have a look at how things are going there, and circuit production is limited, and it is the limiting factor of basically the entire factory right now, which is a bit of a pain. And of course the limiting factor of circuits is copper, so we definitely need to do some more work on that. But anyway, seeing as we've got a surplus of iron, I can stick in some more gear production, which we need because we've just put in the new blue belt production, and that is hoovering up gears like there's no tomorrow. So anyway, with that sorted, let's go work on other random things. I'm just having a check of how the copper is flowing. At the moment, the main line is barely being used, and it's all going onto circuits, but that's running still as efficient as it could, so yeah. And I can see that the limiting factor of blue science is smart inserters, which of course consumes an insane amount of circuits, so yeah, circuits is the big problem that this base currently has, and we definitely need to do some work on it to try and fix things. But anyway, with the blue belt set up, it's time to work on the next bit of production, which I think will be the next for a while. There's nothing that immediately springs to mind that we're going to need other than this. And for this I will need circuits, so I get those connected up, and then I will also need advanced circuits, get those connected up too, but they're a bit close to each other. I want to get them on the same belt, so I have to space them out a bit further so I can actually get them combined. So I just hop along this the circuits thing that I'd set up by a square, and then I can get these combined and be efficient in my use of underground belts by only needing one to do the final bit. Anyway, you can see that I'm looking in my inventory at modules, and of course that is what this is for. So we get this belt along here, and then we plonk down the 3 assemblers that we'll need to make the 3 kinds of basic modules. Also, we get some science done, which is a rare occurrence now because we've run out of things that don't use blue science, and blue science production is still crap. Though I'm realizing now that all the stuff I'm researching is stuff that I'm nowhere near actually working on yet. Basically, the research is miles ahead of me, and so I probably shouldn't really worry about the things running slower than usual, because I've got other things to work on right now. The systems to implement and production things to upgrade, and I have everything already that I need to make him, so I don't really need to keep on getting more science. So I'm going to stop trying to make the science run faster, though I'll probably do more work on circuits because we'll need it. But anyway, you can see I've got these 3 types of modules now set up, and they're nicely supplied. And of course, with them consuming a bunch of advanced circuits, we are going to need to upgrade that system because it was running really slowly and barely supplying blue science as it was. I mean, with blue science barely working, there's a bit more spare, but still we need to get a lot more of it going if we want to meet the fairly ridiculous requirements of module production. At the moment we're only making the level 1 modules, which helps, but later on when we're making all of them, the advanced circuit consumption of that system is going to be mental. So we're setting up 2 assemblers to start with, 2 more than before, getting that all connected up to the power, and then putting in the information, and there we go. They're producing advanced circuits. And then have a look at the copper wire production, and it's a little bit it's slow, so I just upgrade to the level 2 assembler. I don't know why it was in a level 1 assembler, to be honest. I don't know if there's still anything that has that in this space. Actually, I think the conveyor belt production for green science might still be that, but whatever. So anyway, we're getting some effectivity modules produced, except they're not called effectivity modules anymore. They're called efficiency modules, which makes a lot more sense. And I have to say I approve, because effectivity is a hard word to both remember and say. So we get all that going. We put some into some of the assemblers, so now we have some more efficiency, power efficiency, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a lot easier for me to say that now, though. Efficiency is a bit too many soft letters in it or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about linguistics to properly explain it, but there's a weird thing about saying it, but not as bad as effectivity, which is all clunky and annoying. And I think it's a word that they made up as well. But anyway, I've decided to go crazy, and I added another 4 advanced circuit assemblers, just to make sure that everything's absolutely fully supplied as much as it can be, get that all connected up. So now that system is running pretty mental, and we should be fine for advanced circuits for a while, I should hope and expect. But now with all these assemblers working, we need more circuits. So what I do is turn one of the copper wires. That's what we need. So I turned one of the advanced circuits assemblers into a copper wire assembler, and then moved the system up 1 more. And that's how this system is scalable. It's slightly different from a lot of the other systems that I use in this base, but it works basically the same. If I need more copper wire, I can just move up I can just convert more of the advanced circuit assemblers and then extend the line further up. And it works pretty well, and I'm happy with it. So anyway, we've got more efficiency modules coming through, so I run off and find somewhere to put them. Instead of putting them in assemblers this time, I go and be more clever about it and put them into mining drills. Because the way it works is you put the level 1 modules into mining drills, and you put the level 2 modules into furnaces, and then you wait until you've got level 3 assembler machines before you put them in there, and then you put 3 of the level 1s in there. And that's the way to set it up to be sort of most efficient with your materials. So anyway, plonking down some more coal into the system to resupply everything. Once again, the copper production has run out, so I just empty the remaining coal into there. I'm going to get this right one day. I'm going to learn eventually, maybe, probably not actually. I'll be in series 2 million and still be getting it wrong. Though at that point I won't care. So anyway, we're looking at the iron production and well, the mining of it specifically, and one of the mining drills has run out, and then another one runs out while I'm watching. So I get these moved along to the next part of the line, and we are very close now to having all of the iron being mined, which is excellent. And from there on we can just work on other places to keep the iron supply going. Though at the moment the iron supply is absolutely fine and everything's running at crazy speeds. I decided to put some blue belts in anyway for the time when iron is finally required more than it's produced, if that ever does happen before this whole system runs dry and shuts down. Anyway, having done that, I go and check on copper and see how that's working there. I've got a few ideas for what I'm going to do. So the first thing that I do is take out some of the steel furnaces and do some tweaks to the conveyor belts here. More science gets done in the meantime. At the moment I'm working on power suit components, though I'm nowhere near actually doing those yet. So we get this, we get an electric furnace put in, and then we move things along, put another one in. And what we're basically going to do is phase out the steel furnaces and put in the electric ones, and we won't have any more problem with the manual loading of coal there. And that's the whole reason that it was manual, because eventually this was going to happen. I was going to swap out all of these steel furnaces for the electric furnaces. So we're up to 3 there, and then there's I think 6 of the steel ones. And I'm just having a quick inspection of the copper mining, see how well it's flowing and so on. And then I decide to take out another 3 of the the steel furnaces. I'm getting all of the names wrong today, seriously. So I get all of those out and I put in the electric ones. So we now have 5 electric ones and 3 steel ones, amounting to 8, which I think was how many there were previously. So that's worked out quite well. So then I can wander off and work on other things. So we need some more iron, and conveniently there is now a chest full of it over in the smelting area, so that's nice. And then I run along and grab a bunch of steel that I need. And then I'm running around the system, checking on production rates and things, as I usually do, seeing how the circuit production is going, and it's not brilliant, but it's okay. We've got a bunch more efficiency modules and a few more speed modules as well, and I make use of those by making some level 3 assemblers, because you need 4 speed modules to make a level 3 assembler, and so now that I've got some, I can make them with ease. But anyway, I've grabbed some more of the efficiency modules, and I make my way over to the new smelting area for iron, and wait for the train. Really, I could just run down, because it'd take the same amount of time, but whatever. Hop on board the train, and you can see that there's barely any being unloaded right now, because the smelting system is basically shut down, because there's barely any iron being used relative to copper. Anyway, the reason I brought all these efficiency modules down is because I had just the right amount to fill all of these mining drills here. So basically, I have just demolished the carbon footprint of that particular outpost, so the biters should hopefully no longer be angered by it, which is excellent. Anyway, over in this this copper smelting area, I decide to make some changes to it, because there's been some backed up ore on it for ages, so I just add in a bunch more smelters. And this should keep it running for a good long while now, because we've got 12 of them here, and we needed 5, I think, and we were using 4. So I've just added in the 1 extra, and then thought, what the hell, let's add in another 7, so that things will definitely run fine. And basically this means that whatever I throw at this area for a while into the future, it will be able to deal with. So that's a nice big boost to the copper production there, which should help with things generally. And then I run over to the mining area, because I'm going to make some changes. So first of all, I try putting in a splitter here, but I realise it messes things up a bit and gets in the way of the line. So I decide that what I'm going to do is have everything go into the same place, and then a splitter will split it all, so that half goes to the old smelting area and half goes to the new one. Which means that there is a lot more going to the new one, because there was a small fraction of what was being mined that was previously going to the new one. So of course what we're going to now need is some more mining drills. Unfortunately, I'm out of all the intermediate materials that I would usually use to make things like that, so I just give up making them on the spot and run over to steal a bunch of stuff off the line. You can see that for a while circuit production is running at full pelt again, because we've had a big burst of copper coming through as what was backed up on the line for the new smelting area all comes through. So it will run down a bit again, but for now it's running at full pelt, which is excellent. And I can grab a bunch of circuits off the line if I so desire, and I go do that. And I take them from electric engine production, seeing as that doesn't really need them too much. so that I can very quickly make all of these mining drills. We also need some gears that I made the gears for the mining drills in my inventory because I couldn't be bothered. So I get it up to 20 circuits, and then I run along, not 20, 200 circuits, and I run along and get to 200 gears as well. Well, 204 actually, but whatever. I'm trying to keep things like within certain stack sizes, but though at the moment it doesn't really matter because our inventory is absolutely massive and isn't anywhere near being full. I need to set up logistics really, so that I get all this stuff supplied to me manually. I still haven't done that, and I really do need to get on with it, but I will eventually anyway. So we get some more stuff into our inventory, and then I go over and check on the efficiency module production, and then I start working on solar panel production. Basically, there is a certain number that I require, which is more than a stack, so I have to, well, I don't have to, but I decide to stand around and wait for the production to be completed. I also decide to upgrade the rate at which things are loaded into the assembler, because right now the limiting factor is most definitely the loading rate of the inserters rather than the production rate of the assembler itself. So we have everything loaded in at double time now, just to get it all done. And what I'm looking for is 20 more than I already have in my inventory. And so slowly that gets produced, up to 17 there, and then I just plonk in some circuits myself. And we get up to, I think, 19, and I run off and grab some more from the line because I'm running out. And then when I make my way back, the 20 have been produced, so I take them, craft a couple of random bits and bobs, and then start making my way out. I don't think I have the full 200 circuits anymore, but whatever, we'll deal with it. So I get into my car, and I take myself over to the power area, the power generation and storage area, whatever it's going to be called. And I plonk down a new square of accumulators. At the moment, we don't need any of this stuff. I've just decided to put it in because we're going to continue to expand, and I want to make sure that we're capable of expanding. Though thinking about it, now that I'm putting efficiency modules into everything, we are shortly not going to need any upgrades to power for a while, because our power consumption is going to be dropping quite dramatically. But anyway, we're here now. We've got the components, and we're going to make a nice, nice neat rectangle out of them. So whatever. So I start plonking down all these lines, and I work out a nice, efficient way to set all this up. Get that all going down. Get it all connected. And we're working on getting 9 new squares. So we just get all this put in. And there we go. Getting the last few. And we now have a lovely, nice square of 5 by 8 to get everything powered nicely. And then I get in my car and wander off over to the coal mining area that supplies the power generation, because I haven't looked at this for absolutely ages. I've just been like hoping that it continues to work, working on other things. So I decided to set up a backup power system, because if the coal mines ever run out, we could have a problem. So I just put in a wood chest that fills in the line, and then I hop in my car and make my way back over to the main outpost, get the car fixed up, and then wander off to other things. So we've got our mining area there, and I decided that we can now get rid of this the old power generation area that we had here, because for a while I had this and it's just been off, so there was no point really continuing to have it there. So I just got rid of it, and I'm going to make some changes here to the way that we load coal. So we now have more coal being loaded, but we don't need as much anymore because we got rid of a lot of the copper smelting. But anyway, I run around and refuel everything, the iron and the steel and so on, and eventually all that will be turned into electric furnaces as well. Though at the moment we're going to have some problems with space with that particular system. But anyway, we've got some another mining drill run out, so I just move that up, get that into position, and then with the addition of 2 more mining drills there and there, we are now mining the entire deposit. So hopefully that means that soon enough we will actually finish mining the whole thing. Anyway, what I then do is run around with all of these efficiency modules and put them into all the mining drills, and it just so happens we have exactly the right amount to get all of the mining drills completely full, and that means that iron production is now at maximum efficiency in terms of power usage, so that's excellent. So then we work on putting some more mining drills into copper, and I realise now, looking at that design, that we're going to have some problems in a minute with not being able to fit mining drills in to mine all the copper, but we'll deal with that next episode. Then I put in some fast belts because I realised things are building up a bit there, get all that working. And so that should keep things flowing nicely there. So anyway, it's the end now, so I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.